Welcome to Navarrero's online showcase video, M.I.A. edition. Yeah, I'm back today after quite a bit of a break from the game. I haven't been playing this properly since early March or something. It's just that the winter update introduced quite a few issues and then left them for over a month completely unaddressed. And yeah, I just decided to not play the game until at least some of the stuff has been fixed so that I don't completely ruin my enthusiasm for the game. And I think it's just healthier not trying to just work around all of the issues if you don't feel like that. And well, today I'm finally back and I have a few things to show you guys. So let's get right into it. First up, the performance right now is all over the place. Sometimes it's a bit like a slideshow as right now, sometimes it's even a bit worse than here. Sometimes it just calms down and just is completely smooth again. Not really too much that I can do right now, except for hoping for a performance patch soon enough. When it comes to the gold mine, however, it's finally outputting something. I went up here with different unit trains just to deliver enough supplies to get something out of here. It's not a lot of gold that you get, and the way this entire input ratio works has given me a different idea on how to approach the entire thing. So first up, the supplies that we need are all coming from different industries that are all over the place. We have the coal from the coal mine up there. We need beams from the sawmill, we need rails from the iron smelter, and we need tools from the iron works. All different industries, not all too close together, so I thought it would be a good idea going with unit trains and just taking one supply type at the time, but yeah, at that point I also expected that you wouldn't be using as much coal and tools as you are using rails and beams, but actually, spoiler alert, all of these resources are consumed at the same rate. The industry takes 5 of each and gives you two units of gold ore, which is not a lot. And that means that I will need to do a lot of supply runs to get everything up and running properly, to get my cars filled up and then do deliveries to the stamp mill, I think is the next one in line. And I think that requires a completely different approach. So right now I have already set up a track specifically to connect the coal mine to the gold mine. And I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep it. I'll get into how I'm going to set up my full supply chain for the gold mine in a bit. But yeah, this entire track here was built with the intention of using it occasionally. And if I constantly need to go up and down there, I think I'm better off finding a different approach, and I will try out how that's going to work out first before removing this entire track here. After all, it might still be useful, but if it isn't, it's likely gonna have to go. We will have to see about that. When it comes to making a supply station for the train, and that's likely what I'm gonna need to do, just a huge switchover station to get all the supplies into one place and then put them onto the same train, which will then go over here to the gold mine. I think I want to build it near the gold smelter. That right now is still a very simple and small station, and it would easily have enough space to have another few tracks and then just do the entire switchover operation there. And it would also work out with how it's placed, because after all, while the coal mine is up here, the coal mine base camp, well, the track down there goes all the way around the mountain to this space. And then we also have ironworks next door for the tools, so that's 2 of the 4 in this supply industries already in one place. And the iron smelter, I can load up a lot of stuff over there. Both the rails for not only the gold mine but also the coal mine, which again go to the switchover station for the coal mine down here. And also maybe even a bit of raw iron for the ironworks. So that could be a huge train which then goes over into this area and gets unloaded, gets its supplies delivered to other different places around the map. And yeah, when it comes to the sawmill, which is further up north, once the entire train is loaded, I would then of course need to go past it in order to get to the gold mine. I may also alternatively get a few beams from over here down to that station and just do the switch over there. I don't know yet, but yeah, there are a few options. So really looking forward to seeing that work. It's just gonna take a while to fully set up and likely a few reworks and improvements along the way. You know how I operate. I usually just build something up, try it out, and then make adjustments according to what I think would be a bit better. So this is what we have here, and everything else will still need to be figured out. Also, one thing that I find a bit of a shame right now, if I actually do get rid of all of this tech right here, I also got myself 3 additional high wall gondolas. I could put them right next to all of these gondolas, but in the end, I don't think I need more than 6 here. 9 would definitely be overkill. 6 works out pretty much perfectly with my neighboring iron mine down there. And I don't think with how slow the gold mine is filling up, I need any more of that. So yeah, we'll have to see what I can do with these. Might just delete them. I also got myself 2 more climaxes specifically for carrying the empty hoppers, of empty gondolas, I mean, up to the coal mine. I think I could have gone with Heisers instead if I don't need to do the trip. But anyways, since we have new engines here, let's welcome them. Number 20.1, Hans, and number 20.2, Franz. They are going to be, just helper engines over here with main purpose of doing a bit of rearranging the trains that come in here, and especially taking care of any supplies for the iron mine. And also, of course, taking the empty stake cars which those supplies arrived on back up to this yard over here. After all, the yard down there, it has a bit of runoff in both directions, but no outward connection to the main line or anything. That's all still being handled over the gold mine, which I think is what I want to keep doing for the foreseeable future here. Another thing that I'm considering right now, and I think that's something that I need to install soon enough. I want to have another switch over here going in that direction, just to give me another runoff area that doesn't go onto a slope. You have no idea how many trains or just how many cars I pushed in this direction, only for them to hit the slope and go down to the sawmill or something. It's a bit of a risk, and especially if I'm going with a very long all supplies train for the gold mine, I need a bit more runoff in order to do proper arranging. It would be very annoying dealing with that on a slope as well. So yeah, there may be another siding coming soon, and I will have to figure out how that's going to work. Anyways, I think that's all that can be said about this area right now, so let's take a look at the stamp mill. I recently did a water resupply, and this is another one of those cases where I built a temporary station, did a supply run, and immediately noticed that this isn't really working out for me. So initially the track up here, which of course is the main problem of this entire industry, because you need to deliver some of the supplies to the back, which is elevated. I had a 3% ramp going up here, and that's been removed and just replaced with a track going around the side of a mountain, just staying on 0% grading to make some of the stuff a bit easier to deal with. And on the other end, we now also have a switch to choose between going onto the track that actually goes up here. I think this is 1.5%. And also another runoff track to the back. So if I come up here with a long supply train, I will definitely be able to do anything that I need to and just deal with it on this area. Maybe I can add another siding over here or something if I need to, but right now that's not really what my plans are. It's just another option that I could consider if things don't work out with how everything is set up right now. My main point is that if I come up here with a longer train, I once again don't want to do all the arrangement and unloading while having to deal with part of the train being on the slope. Because that's just gonna end up pulling the rest of the train down, and it's not gonna be fun to deal with. And yeah, I will definitely need a few more sidings in order to make this one working, but yeah, I will have to see how long the trains get and all of that. Right now I'm happy that I can just do a few deliveries, but in the end I guess we're gonna get at least one helper engine, maybe even two, and a lot of sidings, not necessarily a supply area, but everything else going. It's gonna be quite the operation once we are done. But this is once again a very early step in that project to even get there. Besides that, I don't think there's too much else to talk about in this area, so let's move over to the main yard. Again, I'm playing on the beta branch, and that means that I have access to the new Roundhouses. So I decided to make myself a little setup here. We have 12 roundhouse doors in total, so 4 on each of the houses as you can see, and 3 houses overall. And I already filled up at least one of them. So if we go in here, gonna wait for the door to open, we can see one of our class 48s, Olga, from the oil field originally. And the other one is over here on this side. This is of course Olivia, number 8.1. And they are going to hang out here until I have another use for them. I might also end up changing the names since there are now also an Olga and Olivia at the oil field again, which are 2 Heislers. And these ones are not going to be used there anymore, so the names don't really make sense anymore. And yeah, for the other engine shed, I have a bit more going on in here. First up we have Hyde, our 12.2 numbered engine, a Cook Mogul, which I used to have as a, was it cordwood? Oh no, I think it was the crude oil train. This one obviously being replaced by the class 125, and Jekyll being still on the road and being used for other stuff. I still have no idea what I want to do with the numbering. I think they're just gonna stay as 12.1 and 12.2. Unlike engines that don't work in conjunction with each other, they are just gonna be individual numbers. Like the Mountaineer over here, number 4. Also Betsy, of course, our number 1. And we also have Glenbrook Roadrunner, number 7. This used to be the oilfield supply train, but in the end I wanted something stronger, and I think that's what I'm using the other Cook Mogul for right now. Also, what I noticed with the recent update, a lot of different engines seem to be lacking windows. Yeah, the window glass just completely disappeared for the Glenbrook, which is interesting. I didn't notice that before. But stuff like the Ruby Basin, I'm pretty sure it used to have a sliding window over here, and that's just completely gone. Cannot use that anymore. And what I've seen with Betsy, that's actually quite interesting. The window over here can now actually be slid along how far you really want to do it, so it's not like open or close again. You can now slide it across as far as you want it, I think. this might be what the devs were aiming for with this change, but it ended up removing just a lot of the doors, and it's a bit of a weird one. There have been a few other engines I noticed that in. I'm just completely failing to recall which ones those were. Oh yeah, the Climax has completely got rid of all of the doors in front and all of that. It's a weird one. Another thing that I noticed, and I know this is more of an optical thing, the rails that you can connect to this turntable, if it's not another turntable, or if it's not the roundhouse, I mean. The regular rails, they just seem to be going a bit too far in here. I mean, that's not even really a bug, that's just a tiny optical issue. Doesn't really do too much. Also, when it comes to placing down the entire roundhouse, it's, well, I placed the first one. I attached the turntable to that, since you cannot snap the roundhouse to the turntable, but the other way around. And all of the other roundhouses had to be placed manually, and therefore they are a bit off. So this one is lining up right now. If I go to the other side, a bit of an issue. I don't really want to try and rework this all the time. I think there are definitely limits to how good you can make this look. So I guess I'm gonna keep it like this for the time being. I would really like to be able to snap the roundhouses to the turntable, or even more ideally, have a version of the roundhouse that is modular. Let's have a starting wall and then an ending wall, and then add as many stalls in between as you want to. That would really be the optimal solution, but what we have right here, I mean, it's at least decent. Okay, so much about this area. I think that's most of the stuff right now. Oh yeah, I've done also a bit of a change to the other logging camp yard. I mean, the other big yard that I have here at this logging camp. There used to be an engine shed over here, and I replaced it with a roundhouse in that direction. I couldn't fit anything else here, so I just removed the original engine shed since I don't need it anymore. And I also made a little rework of the switches right here. By the way, switches right now, they work a bit different than on the main branch. You don't drag them anymore, you just click on them, and if you got the right button, they will switch over. But right now, if I want to move the lever over to the left, I will actually have to click with the right mouse button, and with the left one to get to the other direction. This is very unintuitive and weird. From this side it works the way you want to, but overall I would much prefer the old version. Just click the mouse and drag it to, click the lever here and drag it over to where you want it to be. I think that also just feels a lot more satisfying, just the kind of feedback that you get by really following the action that you're performing, instead of just go here, click, and that's it done with. I think this might be in preparation for the upcoming map update, where we should be able to also flip all the switches just looking at the map, and also get the splines displayed on the map, so we can see the entire track layout and network from there. Really looking forward to that, but I hope this isn't a necessary sacrifice for that. After all, Railroads Online Extended was able to do the entire thing as a third-party tool without changing any of the base behavior of the switches. So yeah, I hope they work this out, because this right now is definitely a downgrade. So another thing that we have here is the cordwood train. 48 bulkhead cars, fully loaded up with a caboose at the end. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to see it from here. It's all the way back there. And funnily enough, the frame rate here has recovered, so despite there being a huge amount of cars, it's actually going pretty well. I'm pretty sure that back in the day when I first started this project, I I needed to use both the Tweency and class 48 in order to get this up to the smelter. I want to only use one engine here, so I guess this might be another case for getting a second class 125. That will take a while, that's gonna be hugely expensive, but yeah, I think that's gonna be the solution here. I can maybe bring over the Lima that I have and see if that could do it. But I think in the long run, class 125 might be the one for this shop here. Especially since I'm considering to maybe add a few more cars. And when I say a few, I mean like maybe 16 wouldn't work. I want to maybe go up to 72, and that would be 24, I guess. That might be too much. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyways, in the roundhouse over here, we can also now find our helper engines for this entire area. We have the yard goat, which is of course, what was it? Ferries and Cliffhouse engine. And this one, just trying to fill up all the cordwood cars, almost went through its entire coal supply, or at least the majority of it. So it's not gonna be too long until I need another resupply here, but I think the coal tower should be filled up, and it's not gonna need too many units from there, so that should be alright. Also, yeah, this is another engine that has no sliding windows anymore. And the other engine in here, of course, being Monty, which is a rather recent, I don't know why the thing is stuck on the screen there. This is a rather recent addition, which I still have to use. This will be used to resupply any firewood depot here with cordwood if it runs out. But that's gonna be for the future. Right now I don't really have too much use for it. And yeah, that kind of brings me to the end here. I think I have shown you guys everything that I've done in between. It's a bit of a scattershot because some of it has been started before I went on the longer break, so I don't really recall everything right now anymore. And a few things have happened rather recently. I'm still also in the process of just building up a bit more money. Being at 6k right now isn't really all that amazing, especially if I'm looking at getting another class 125, which is of course 20k without any additions. The last thing that I want to mention here, and I already pointed that out in a few past videos about the whole way industries work. Right now what's happening on the beta is that, well, first up, I reported industries as broken quite a while ago. And then, well, with the first beta version, they tried implementing a fix. It was a really outdated version of how industries used to work. People were obviously not happy with that. And right now, it seems like the devs are using the broken version as a fix for their apparent fix for the broken version. They're trying to sell us that thing as the solution. I'm really not happy about that, and it's something that I will have to work around until they hopefully find a better way to deal with this, because I don't want to constantly lose out on any product that I should be getting just because the supplies in and outputs for the different industries are kind of broken right now and using up more stuff than they should and not outputting the things that they really should be giving us. So that's one main reason why I wanted to stay away from the game, but again, I just had the itch to play, and I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna see how it goes for me, but if the whole industry thing becomes too much of an issue, I might just put in another break and go on hiatus again. So yeah, that's the current state of things. I just wanted to keep you guys up to date with that. We will have to see how it goes in the long run. But for now, it's kind of alright. There are a few very good things about the new update. I'm definitely not a fan of just getting anything that I buy delivered directly to myself right here. I would rather everything go to the purchase tracks over here, and then you're dealing with that from that position. But yeah, we'll have to see if they go back on that. Right now, a few of the other things are quite nice for quality of life improvements, like being able to use fly mode in more different things here also makes just showing off everything a lot easier. Everything else we will have to see how it pans out, but yeah, right now, again, it's not all amazing, it's not all bad, there are quite a few good things about this, so I'm happy to be back right now. And with that, I'm gonna say I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one. See you guys next time. Bye bye.